Hey, it's Paula Hines Lonergan. Time's up for me to be silent. And I wanted to do a follow-up video in connection to Simone Biles. I already did one video because a couple months ago I saw an interview of her where in a book that she had written, she talks about how she had been a victim of Nasser, the doctor at the gym in Michigan. It's how he had actually also, um, I guess, taken advantage of her, molested her as well. Um, Now, the thing that I found interesting, which I mentioned in the other video, is that Simone Biles was in a state of denial that she was actually one of his victims. And then she had to come to terms with it. But she was talking about how I guess she's going through therapy, and that's been helping her to, cope with the reality of what happened. But, one of the things that she said that she has recognized one of the deep effects that the molestation had on her is in regards to trust. I mean, she very clearly said that her ability to trust has been hampered. And then she was saying how, I guess, like even, as the fantastic gymnast that she is, Simone Biles, she needs to get, I guess, certain massages and therapies on her body, in order for her to be able to maintain her ability to perform as she's doing. However, I guess there is that the issue of maybe perhaps reflecting on some of the things that she, went through being molested, you know, and she has a hard time kind of trusting, and that was one of the things that really stuck out, for me. And, coming from the perspective of myself, being a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, trust is something that is degraded, when you're victimized. Now, I'm not sure with Simone at what point in her, how old she was when Nasser was taking advantage of her. But, as children, as young people, we're taught, to show respect to adults, to trust adults, to find security and safety in adults. But yet when an adult egregiously take advantage, particularly sexually, of a child, that ability to trust is really hampered. I mean, and the ability to develop um, trusting others is hampered as well. And that can be, shown in many ways in adulthood, into adulthood. Maybe a person doesn't, trust themselves, or in their marriage, or in their friendships. Having fear of really devoting their heart or themselves or their true selves. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to others. So that is number one, something that needs to be acknowledged about self. Simone Biles said she's that continuing to do her work, therapy and things, to kind of work through that issue, and that it's the kind of the same for us. I mean, unfortunately, no child makes the choice to be molested, to be sexually abused. It's at the hands of someone else, but there's always the repercussions in one way, or the results, of that. So it's up to us as survivors to put forth the effort to be as whole and complete as we can in ourselves, but in our relationships with others, as well. Anyways, and it's an ongoing process. I appreciated Simone Biles', acknowledgement of still working through it, and me, Paula Hines Lonergan, I'm still working through, my own, issues, idiosyncrasies, and things that I acquired not because of anything I did myself, but because of circumstances. So it's a matter of, just self-examination and self determination to improve and to be the best. Anyways, this is Paula Hines Lonergan. This is my follow-up video, like I said, on Simone Biles and what she said about trust. Anyways, appreciate any comments, any feedback. So feel free to email me. You can write me an old-fashioned letter, or put a note in the comments. Do you have any thoughts, in regards to this? Has your trust of others been affected? And how did you kind of become aware of it? Was it someone else that made you aware, or was like a self-awareness? Anyways, I appreciate any comments. This is Paula Hines Lonergan. Time's up for me to be silent.